you family, and may the perpetual protection of our ancestors and the Most High be with you at such a time as this and into forever, because we have truly entered, the transition stage, the end of the end of the end and the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. And, special shout out to our Patreon family. Thank you so much for enabling us to continue to do this show and to bring the awakening news to our people. By the way, if you're thinking of relocating to the motherland, or if you have plans underway to do so, definitely check out our relocation service on Patreon, patreon.com/Karibu Nyumbani. The links are down below, where we have an extensive library of all kinds of information, from finance to where to live to how to buy land, everything on your relocation, and you can join for as little as $5 a month. Family, I had promised to talk about the two Kenyas. Remember, we publish, this is our main channel, the channel we started with 5 years ago, which has tried, YouTube and the powers of be have tried to take it away, tried so many things, but it's still standing. And we're back to talking about the great revival that is literally underway on the motherland. We'll be talking about southern Ethiopia. We'll be focusing on Kenyan politics and the politics in the nations of southern Ethiopia, which is basically the East African community and the Bantu awakening and whatever else we're led to, of course, to talk on that. But that's the focus on this channel. We publish a show every single Sunday, so make sure you're subscribed and you press that notification button so that you're alerted when we do that. And you can also, if you want more regular programming, check out our main channel now, but our second channel, Dr. Mumbi Spiritual Show. And if you want daily exclusive content, join our Patreon. So I had promised to talk about the two Kenyas that are here right now. There's so many prophecies that have said that Kenya is Eden, the nest of Yah, Dragon Nation. Go check out that show. But Kenya was the seat of revival, where a special, spirit was going to be unleashed from here. The ancestral restoration was going to be released from here, and it would spread like wildfire across Africa and across the entire world. Of course, the evangelicals and many of the so-called prophets have been talking about this, this revival that was going to come for Kenya for decades. In fact, there's even spiritual people, I think spiritual priests that came from areas like Zambia and many other places, who are literally just here waiting for the arrival of this spirit, of this revival, of the Messiah, of the Most High. It's funny how different people interpret that great spirit. And also, family, science. There's a channel that was online, but it's been taken down. And this guy used to talk about how, the world was basically going into either a mini ice age or just a great tumultuous time. And there were going to be safe nations where you could kind of ride out this, nature's reset. And he did talk about a great galactic alignment, and Kenya was in that great, galactic alignment. So there's a lot that points to Kenya being the seat of revival. There's a lot that's been said out there. And even the ancient ones have confirmed it to me. My ancestors have confirmed it to me. And what's happening now is that there are there are two Kenyas. Kenya is splitting in two right now. There is the Kenya that is being prepared for revival, where there is a massive awakening happening among our people, especially young people. I wish you could see how many emails and messages I get on Facebook and Instagram from young people, teenagers, young adults who are going through, whose gifts are awakening. All of a sudden they can see. All of a sudden they're having visions and dreams. They're getting premonitions. They're being told of what's about to happen, and then it occurs. So there's this general population, which is mainly the young people, and the ancestors and the ancient ones who have been, who returned, and then those of us who have been on this awakening journey. And there's many who are awakening across the different age groups, and those who were never disconnected from their ancestors. So there's this nation, and then, which you could say is the Wakanda, and then there's Kenya, the nation that, was sold out to the Masonic Brotherhood, to the point where their parliament is all tatted up with Masonic symbols, where they designed Nairobi, just like they designed Washington, D.C., and they designed, Paris and all these things. The one where the Mzungu is still king and owns the prime land and everything, and where, people don't think this world will end, where people are still bowing to the Mzungu. And the brainwashing is so deep, family. So deep, and it is down to the village level. Like now I'm building my shrine on the foothills of Mount Zion. It's almost done. It looks like it will be done just for, in time for 2023. And a lot of the villagers think I'm building my house. And they were talking to my supervisor the other day about how I want to live larger than the Mzungu. And who do I think I am for trying to live a better life than them and trying to outshine them? Family, that's even just my shrine. That's not even my residential palace. But it shows you how deep the brainwashing is. But you know what was so funny is my supervisor, who's a young guy in his early 20s, we were having this discussion about it. And he was just like, the brainwashing to this level is so deep. And we were having a talk about how so many of the people in the rural areas, but it's more like the parents, the mothers, the fathers, the uncles who are deep in that religious psychosis, they're in such a toxic narrative where they're always gossiping about one another and they're always trying to bring each other down. And, it's just like, so I visited my shrine, for prayers, et cetera, to kind of see the work that was being done. And, the villagers, and they just built kind of the shrine that faces the mountain. There's different rooms and everything. It's like an ashram, an Indian ashram. And it's like the villagers, out of jealousy, envy, who knows what, they somehow got to my main builder. And they were whispering in his ear about how, he's being discriminated against, he's doing this, he's doing that. And so he started to fumble up the work and unfortunately had to be let go. And he was expecting that when he'd be let go, all these guys who were telling him that he was great and he was brilliant and buying him alcohol because his weakness is alcohol, that they would now come back and offer him all these great jobs because they said how great he was. And he hasn't had a job ever since, family. Those people are now laughing at him that, look at him, he was employed, now he's... And I'm just sharing this story, not even, I don't like to share my personal things, but I'm just sharing you this story with you to show you how the mentality of our people is what is going to hold so many back. And it's the reason that now the ancestors and the Most High, has decided that there has to be this separation. And so for those who are awakening in earnest and wanting to break the shackles of mental slavery, it's like we've been put in a mental arc, in a spiritual arc, which will literally manifest physically. Anything that manifests on the spiritual realm must manifest here. But it's like we are already protected. We've made it into the ark. We're good. Like we're going to be totally taken care of because we spiritually made it, regardless of what our physical circumstances look like. But then there are those who have been an obstacle, who have been a terror to their own, who have compromised their own people. I was swimming in the ocean the other day, and I was speaking to a young Mijikenda man, and this area used to be, that was the nation that was here. And I was asking him, is there any shrine? So I had told him, because they always see me swimming in the ocean. So they were like, we haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. Where were you? And I explained that I went to my shrine. And he was looking at me like, shrine? And I was like, what happened to the shrines that used to be here? And he was like, all of them were taken. And then he was like, there's a story I heard, but I don't think it's true. But there's a story I heard that one of our greatest shrines, a Mzungu couple came and paid one of our leaders to steal like what was in the shrine, and give it to them. And he's like, but I don't want to believe that the Mzungus would do that, because still the Mzungus are the ones who are coming and bringing them business, etc., etc. And I was like, of course they would. They're collectors. They feel nothing about telling someone to go and desecrate the shrine and take theirs. But that's not even who our emotions are directed towards. That's not who the ancestors are mad at. Because the family, the bloodline of the person who did that has gone mad. They've been cursed forever by their own ancestors, ostracized from the community. And there's still those amongst us here in the mother nation, in Eden family. And everyone now is making that choice because the seed comes from here. So we're the ones who are going to receive that energy first. We're like the door to revival. So the door is in our house. So it will come through our house before it goes to other people's nations, to other people's houses. Everyone is being tested, even the president himself, on whether he's going to be part of the revival nation or whether he's going to be part of the Babylon nation, which they are going to destroy. They've always been after Kenya. Look at now, Bill Gates all of a sudden coming to Kenya, and I've already done a show on that. Please check it out. Which for me confirmed that that's who Ruto signed the deal with. The deal with the devil. And so there are these two nations, and these people who are still in the religious psychosis, who are still negative and critical and thinking life is normal and trying to obstruct and just they're a nuisance to the ancestors. This isn't even my words, family. They're a nuisance to the ancestors. These ones are the ones who are most exposed now. And these ones are the ones when you start hearing Billy has come and he has plans for the people. These are the people who will be affected by his plans. These ones are already in the ark. They're safe. They're good. These are the ones who you'll be seeing, oh, they've been hit by poverty, they've been hit by disease, all these terrible things are happening to them. But this is the remnant. And the remnant has already survived and made it. And you can join the remnant at any time, but it takes a lot of purging and a lot of cleaning of your mind and your soul, of all the negativity, any criticism you have for others, any just negative thoughts about yourself. It takes that and connecting to your ancestors. There's a guidebook I'll be releasing very soon that will assist those that want to come from here to here and confirm many things to the remnant. So the remnant and the kawaida people, kawaida just means the regular people, they've already been separated and they're literally family. There's like 2 Kenyas even physically. If you know, you know. And that's all I'm permitted to say right now. I can't really go into that any deeper than that. But just know that the elect are being separated and you want to be among the elect and you elect yourself through your behavior, through your actions, through even just crying out to the Most High saying, I want out. We win. They lose. This is part of the losing team. And even Ruto and all those people who are leading, they're being faced with that choice. And you see, the realm of the revival, they don't entice you. They don't give you any goodies. It's just a promise. It's just a promise. It's a contract, it's a deal that you and your bloodline make it. It's like in the scriptures when they marked their doors. You get that mark that saves you from the mark of the beast, that saves you from the plans of Billy, that saves you from any famine and drought that is being engineered for the motherland and being rolled out as we speak. And so the time to worry about what is happening on a national level. It's good to be aware. It's good to give information. It's good to add your energy to it, of course, to add your energy to the group consciousness. And I saw a lot of our conscious people, like when Billy came to Kenya, putting the truth out there. And that educated a lot of people and awakened a lot of people and brought a ton of people into the remnant community. Many are crossing over daily. Millions family are just crossing over. Connecting to their ancestors. So it's good to do that, but just realize now the ancestors are in control, family. Because even how the spirit is reading the news through me is so different. There's a detachment now. There's no longer this panic or anxiety like, Billy's coming to finish us all. No. Now it's just like, oops, this other Kenya's in trouble. Send you our best wishes, but we're keeping it moving here. We're getting ready for the great spirit here. We're preparing ourselves. So that when we encounter that highest vibration, we don't pass out. We don't, our body can take it. We've been purified enough where our minds can handle it. That's where our focus is. We're following the yellow brick road of our ancestors that is leading us to a place of safety and to a new beginning. And how do you know whether you're in the realm of the remnants or whether you're just with everybody else, still in Babylon, getting ready to self-destruct with Babylon? One way to know is that you're disconnected from what is happening on the national level. You no longer feel like it's happening to you. You no longer feel part of that group. Secondly, is like your awakening is happening. Your gifts are coming online. Your diet is changing. Like you're just awakening in your life. And thirdly, you're getting solutions from your spiritual family, from your ancestors, from your spirit guides, from the spirits of the nation of, Eden. They're helping you along the way, and your life is getting better. You're being, exposed to those who have always held you back. You're just starting to see so many truths in your own life where those who have always held you back, those who have always been an obstacle, who you'd never would have ever imagined, they're now being exposed to you. You're now seeing them live, and you're working your way from disentangling yourself from them, from disentangling yourself from toxic people, toxic situations, toxic environments. And you're moving into building. If you're in the remnant, that's what's happening in your life. You're either awakening to the truth, disentangling yourself, moving through that disentanglement, or you're starting to construct anew. Sometimes you're doing all of them at once. And still, of course, there's those battles with family and friends who you'd given so much power in your life. But that's where your energy is. That's how you know you're part of this remnant. But if life looks like it did a year ago, 2 years ago, before the pandemic, if it still looks the same, if it's kind of business as usual in your life, then be aware, because you could just be part of this other community, the Kenya that has been entrapped by Babylon, that is now, they're trying to use it as a puppet. Because the ancestors aren't there, family, so there's a lot of exposure there. Here you can get taken out. Here is like Hunger Games vibes. You can get taken out at any time. You can get starved at any time. You're just so exposed. So make sure you're at least transitioning to the remnant, or you are part of the remnant. Because not everyone is going to make it. Some people are too far gone. Not just here in Kenya, but across Mama Africa and across the world. Some people are just too far gone, family. And the judgment season is about you judging yourself, and that's the season we've been in. I think I talked about how we entered the judgment season in 2020. So judge yourself correctly, and I hope to see you in the ark. Tuko pamoja.